welcome to the stream. My name is Lee, and we have a very cool group of friends here today with us, which is very exciting stuff. Yeah, we have exciting friends here today. I have to fix the thing, which I can't do with, let's see, not that version, this version? If I happen to have a version, nope, not that version. I might have, I had a version. Yep, that version. Okay. That version works. I have to find the right version that has everyone on it. But I refound the version, so that's cool. I remade it and we had a version that with the right people. Never mind.
Yeah, at some point you got to fix my name in there too. You,
Am
you
I?
had like the wrong spelling for my name for like.
Siegland?
Yep.
Why? Oh, that one has the wrong spell. Okay, here. This one, I spelled Siegland right? This one is just the version I have that has everyone's names on it, so that because
That one,
last minute
that one's
Reaper.
right.
Yeah, but then I don't have Reaper in there, so it's a balancing act of trusty pen, and because this one writes well. And okay, so welcome everyone. We have the new version, so that everyone has their names, even if Siegland isn't spelled right. I'll shout you out in the chat, and if there, yes. Okay, so why don't everyone go down the... Oh, hang on. I have to fix that too, so that it doesn't look terrible. And in fact, it will actually look really good if I just... Beautiful. There we go. And then nudge this over a little bit. Not ideal, but it's a good start, right? Okay, so... Introductions. Start with the top row, which is Sig, and then Celiax, and then Rob, and then Reaper. And everyone introduce themselves, characters, anything you want to say about Life Theaters and everything. Turn it over.
Okay, so my name's Jeff. A lot of people on the internet know me as Sigmund. I'm playing Johan Johansson the 45th. I'm an artist and also a part-time entrepreneur. I just got back from opening a franchise in Ohio called Hot Dogs to Go. It's a combination of DoorDash and PetSmart. We're hoping to make a lot of profit this year. We see a lot of opportunities in Springfield, especially. So looking forward to it. Thank you.
Yeah, yeah. So I'm Celiax. I'm the friendly neighborhood psycher in the party, and like to get along with a little bit of fun, messing with people's minds on occasion. Uh, that's pretty much me.
Cool. Rob?
Yeah, Sieglin, I was curious, your franchise, is it like a Meals on Wheels type of thing?
Yeah, and in fact, our products also include reduced sugar and gluten free.
Nice, nice.
So we're
Really
trying
help
to.
with that cat and dog problem up in Ohio. Anyway, yeah, my name's Rob. Moniker online is typically Ducat, but I am playing Janthine, a tech priest, kind of new to Warhammer and Rogue Trader. So I'll probably be asking a bunch of questions throughout the game.
You say that, but you've been on...
There is so much to this game. I've also been playing the Rogue Trader game through Steam.
Yeah?
And it's like, I mean, the depth of like complexity to this game is just
There's a lot of
it's
lore.
Yeah, it just keeps expanding.
Well,
it really does.
There's a lot of lore, but the lore... Actually, the lore does keep expanding, but only like
No,
a tiny bit.
it's not just the lore. I mean, yes, the lore is probably the biggest part of the game, but the character abilities. I mean, it just the character abilities and all the different choices that you can make and
Yeah.
how they affect not just your character but the party. And
yeah.
So yeah, there's a lot to it. Yeah, I'm gonna be
Yes.
new to this game for like the next year.
I mean, I'm still learning all of the tidbits of stuff. So, T-Max is the only one who actually knows things.
Yeah.
Okay.
Who's next?
Rick?
That would be me. I'm Harmon. I'm our pilot that crashes often and flies in circles.
Is that called a pilot?
Yeah,
Is that
yeah,
what we're calling it?
that's my
I mean,
title.
Yeah, and in
So
fairness,
in theory,
well, actually, the title Voidmaster, but in theory, I have been making you make extra hard checks. I should have been giving you more bonuses on checks because you're not doing anything. Like, you're not pulling loop to loops or anything.
So if you read between the lines, that means you're supposed to start doing loopy loops.
Yep.
You don't
Yep,
have to.
I gotta add in fancy tricks to everything
Yeah.
I do.
Well, or I could just give you the bonuses to not do the fancy tricks. Either way,
Well, at least then, if you screw up, you have something to blame.
that's
Oh, yeah.
fair
Oh, yeah.
too. Okay. Note that. Okay. All right. Okay. All right. That's fair. We're just gonna ignore that then. Okay. Oh, there's a thingamabob. Okay. So, everyone, welcome. I have very cool friends, and we're all our intrepid heroes went to a planet called Aplasia, and with the promise that there would be diamonds, and there are. They have all of the bling. Unfortunately, there are also a little bit of problem. So the the problem being that there was a rebellion of sorts. The planet has been brought under Imperial compliance. Unfortunately, the unification of the planet was slapdash at best in response to the first wave of Imperial rediscovery, which was the Squidvark, which is a ship that belongs to the captain's brother, different Captain Helmshill, and I'm working on crewing that one, but meanwhile, you got a message about it. You were like, hey, they said, we had kind of brought them into compliance with the Imperial Creed, but didn't really do anything else. Do you want this? And you guys were like, yes. So, a ship came. You have been negotiating with their High Shah of one particular country, who had kind of gathered the rest of the countries in an alliance, who signed off all the paperwork, like treaty negotiations. Unfortunately, they had a small group of 6 villages who were rebelling against the High Shah, and that now sort of kind of means they're rebelling against the Imperium. So Imperial planets generally need to be unified, and rebellion is not tolerated. Unless the planetary governor you're rebelling against is working for chaos, in which case you have to, but that's a whole separate scenario, and this is not that. So these guys are rebelling. They feel like they've been unfairly maligned. They're getting help from off-world too. That's the interesting thing. They had a troop carrier, an APC, that they got from someone off-world who had been giving them Vox signals and possibly is maintaining some sort of presence on the outer system, which is kind of a bit of a distraction, because if they're signing the deal with you, you should know about that, and you don't. So, go away. Okay. Yeah, so that's a little distressing. You've been talking to certain rebels, you've been talking to certain groups. You came up with a plan. You came all the way to the rebel villages on foot to not alert them of your presence, which took several hours. You hit a rebel patrol, shot 2 of them. One of them you negotiated with first and was going to tell the others to back down, and you shot her as well. So that negotiation might not hold. We'll see how that goes. One of them is badly wounded. Your medic has left because of you know, got uppity. It's fair. What happened happened. And you also have a flyer coming that is specially primed to make these guys comply. That you have had arranged for, and yeah. So, yeah, a lot of you are standing around in the dark forest. The bolter shot rings out. The young woman collapses. You got her right through the heart. The bolt, her heart's literally in pieces at this point. You rolled a double crit. There's no coming back from that. That's she is down. So.
Well, that's what happens when you try to rebel against the Empire. The Imperial Man does not take kindly to rebellion. Thank you. There's proper procedures to go through if you want to have your voice heard. This is not one of them.
Yeah.
Shooting up the place
Really?
and
Rebel against the Empire.
They tried.
Rebelled against the planetary government.
And which, in
Well,
fairness,
that's
wasn't even a
part
whole
of the
planetary
Empire now.
government until
No, one nation within the
yeah. So, but now that that nation is the one you signed the treaty with, that is.
That, and they tried to run us over with an APC, and I'm not happy about that.
Fair enough, they did. There is that.
Now I'm going to contact the ship if possible.
Okay. You have Vox capabilities, and yes, you have the ship in orbit. Odette specifically, or
Whoever I'm supposed to be talking to. If it's
you've
Odette,
been
sure.
working with Odette recently. She's been on comms,
Okay.
so yeah.
They're like, Odette, we've run into the we've found the rebels' location.
Okay.
Apparently, they've been contacting another well-sourced group that's been giving them equipment. These guys are loaded with better weapons than they should have had.
Better
and
weapons, as in they have
higher
melta guns,
quality.
or better weapons as in they have las guns, because that's a very different sort of. Like, do they have melta guns? Do they have plasma guns? Do they have? Worse?
I don't remember the exact type of guns they had. You just described them as being better than.
Yeah, they
weren't
have
using.
they have las rifles essentially.
Yeah, I'll. They have las, right? They were
Oh, they
using
have-
las
okay.
rifles on.
Las rifle. Okay, that's. I mean, that's disturbing on a political scale, but freaking las rifles, it's fine. They have las guns. Every Iggy in the entire Imperium has a las gun.
I'm not worried about that. I'm worried about the people who sent them the las guns.
Yep,
Maybe coming to their aid because they may be nearby. So I want to let the ship know to be on alert that
right.
they could be encountering a different rogue trader ship coming
A
into
rogue
the
trader
vicinity.
ship. Are you sure
Well,
it's a rogue trader,
I mean,
not just?
I'm not, but I would. Someone's providing them with things that are not supposed to be here.
Yeah, but they're not.
So I would
Getting
just keep
melted.
on alert if I were you. That
Yeah. Keep an eye out for their mysterious benefactor. Gotcha. All right. You good down there? You want backup
I
soldiers?
don't know.
You
Well,
want,
we're about to find out.
you want me to send a couple soldiers when I send the souped-up flyer, or?
Yeah, that would be excellent if you could.
Right. All right. I will send you more soldiers. I will send them. And yeah, I will send you soldiers.
Okay, we're gonna hunker down and wait for your ship. Then we're probably about to get attacked, so I can't stand the comms too long. We need to prepare.
I thought you were supposed to be stealth. You know what?
Yeah,
All right.
as I said, we ran into a patrol. So
And you didn't. Okay. All
and we
right.
didn't what?
No, you know what you're doing. You know tactics. I'm sure there was extenuating circumstances. All right. Don't
For running into a patrol?
dealing with. Yeah. You know what? Yes. So, sending down backup as best I can. Armed and dangerous. And you have, right, what's I gonna say? Harmon's there with you, right?
Yeah.
Okay, just checking that.
I think he's here. I'm gonna look around. Is Harmon still here with us?
Yeah, I'm right here.
Okay.
Yep, then he's still here.
All
Excellent.
right.
I
I'm
just wander
sorry,
off
Hero's not as
on
good a
my own.
pilot, but we'll send who we can. And I, as the DM, will look through my list of soldiers you have on board and send. Let's see, Harlan, and you already brought Nolan down, so I'm sending Harlan and send the right NPCs to come and to your aid. I am writing down. I'm finding all the NPCs that you're going to get in combat, and then we're stats for them. And okay. Meanwhile, yeah, you hear a sound coming out of the woodwork.
We hear a sound. Can any of us use a skill to?
Right. Yes. Okay. I need all of you to roll. If you have, no, there's a tech. Go into this check. The awareness check. If you have awareness, roll awareness. If not, roll half perception.
Is this sound? Or
Yes, it
this
is sound. Oh yeah, Finnick has the extra ears. He's good at sound, right?
Extra? Do I have 2 pairs?
Another
No.
pair?
But they're better ears than usual. Maybe not
Oh, yeah.
extra as in like better than usual.
Extraordinary.
You said perception, right?
Yes, perception is a characteristic, but unless you have the awareness skill, you're rolling at half.
Did I make it with a 7? Oh yeah.
Yes, that
Oh,
is.
yeah.
You made it. Okay. So yeah, you're not crazily familiar with woods, as Harmon is from the planet Visaria, if I recall correctly, which is very, very not wooded anymore. And then spent years and years and years honing his craft on ships. But so you're kind of on alert, and you hear under sticks breaking in a very specific, heavy set way. You're like, that's a person. That's a person on foot. Okay. And you kind of look to the rest of, and none of them are making that sound, and you're like, aha, enemies. Or friends, or someone sneaking through the forest who's coming at you.
Okay. Well, I will alert the rest of the team to that. I'll try to be kind of discreet, not to just yell out, "Oh my God, people are near!" But I'll try to relate to them that
Alright.
we have someone following us.
Yeah.
So are they following us, or are they moving towards
They're coming
us?
towards you. You guys are, if I recall correctly,
Okay.
staying still.
Coming towards
unless
us,
you're
then.
moving around.
Are there any places to take cover?
You're in a clearing that has been kind of... Actually, these guys made the clearing. So you can kind of duck back a little bit and duck behind some trees at the edge of the clearing if you want to...
All right, I'm going to move that, and I'm going to motion to the rest of the group to do the same, in case we're being
Ambushed.
set upon by
Okay.
rebels.
What light sources do you guys have? Or are you kind of standing around in the dark?
You said there was a moon out, so
There was.
we were able to see.
Yeah. So yeah, you have moonlight, only moonlight to see you, which is in the clearing. It's not so bad, but yes, it is kind of hard to see.
This
did
other
we bring-
guy.
But yeah. Okay.
Did we bring like infrared goggles or nighttime vision stuff? Do I have that as part of my augmentation?
You probably, I would say, have visual augmentation. You can pull up. The rest of you, I don't know. Did you guys?
I can just continuously shoot my bolt pistol for light
mean,
source.
You could try. You'd run out of ammo very quickly. You have like you have a good amount of bolt shells. I'm not tracking immediately, but it is finite. To a point. you don't have
Or we
infinite.
could just use our flamethrowers and set the place on fire.
Yeah, it's true. You do have, I believe you have Nolan with you. So, which, who is a NPC of sorts who, is an enjoyer of the flammableness of life. I will just say.
An enjoyer of the flammableness of life. All right. Question: this other guy who is on the ground and not dead,
Yeah.
on a scale of how stable and okay, where is he?
He's stable. He's not going to die in the next couple hours, but he's not. Yeah, he's probably not going to die for a couple hours. He's going to be dicey on the consciousness, and if you leave him for any length of time, there's a pretty good chance something bad will, slap him too hard and he's it goes away. So just be conscious of that. But yeah, for now, for the next few hours, he's probably okay.
Okay.
Yeah, he's stable for at least a few hours, provided no one, does anything to him.
I'll kind of like wave the others on to go ahead and go take cover, and then
Okay.
I'll stick around with this other guy.
Okay, so you're kind of kneeling in the clearing, and
Yeah.
kind of looks up at you, and kind of touches his ear, and how, your ears.
Hey, just conserve your strength. You're not looking so good.
Yeah, but is my sister really dead?
Yes.
Okay. We had to, and something's going on in the city, and do you know what's going on in the city?
There's a lot going on in the city. You're gonna have to narrow it down.
I mean, something big. There was supposed to be we got word, that's why we sent, and they never came back. They had the protection they were supposed to, it failed, didn't it? The
Oh,
whatever it was that they had that was
quite
supposed to protect them.
spectacularly, yes.
It was supposed to. They promised us it would protect us. We shot at it, and it did. It deflected everything. I don't.
Well, the charred, smoky wreck of that did get pulled back into town. One of the guys that was in it actually lived. So
One of them
one of them.
lived, and the others are
Oh,
charred, smoky. How did the engine? We shot at it with the new guns, the ones that shoot fire at, not fire, but red. I don't know how they
Las guns.
Yes,
Yeah,
those.
they're standard equipment.
But we shot
we're,
at the
we're
engine
here
with them, and it didn't go up. How did you set it on fire?
flamethrowers.
The flame,
We're here from the Imperium, the wider Imperium. Our tech is a lot better
like
than
the
yours.
Emperor, like Chosen of the
Yes.
Emperor.
Yes.
Wait, Chosen of the Emperor came to like Angels of the.
To sign a treaty and annex the planet, essentially. That's already been done. That happened.
Annex isn't, but the Emperor is, I mean, all powerful, right? Doesn't he already? How
It's a lot more official now. There's paperwork and everything.
paperwork? I mean, the one true God of all mankind needs paperwork.
The Imperium still has its bureaucracy.
I don't know these things. I just know that they're screwing us over, and we thought, they take us seriously, and they wouldn't treat us like we're nothing if we just. They're coming. They're coming, and they're gonna come and come for. They're gonna shoot you. Oh, they're gonna shoot at you. They're gonna shoot at you because they don't know that you're. And she was gonna go.
Well, if they shoot at us, that's a bad idea.
I can't. Let me get up. If you help me up, we can tell them.
Why
Tell them not to.
do you want to get shot at? I don't know if they're gonna stop just because you're here.
I mean, it's we were brothers when we were little. You ever cut your hand and then you hold the blood and then his blood's and then you're. We were.
That
Sounds-
sounds dirty.
Sounds like a great way to get a communicable disease.
No, but we did. It wasn't. It meant I was bleeding, and he promised me that his blood and my blood, that we were.
That's not really how that works, but sure. If it's symbolic, I guess.
And okay, he's going to roll. This is where we roll a D100, and. Oh, okay. So there's a shot, and it hits. You can hear the gunfire. Luckily, they have not great aim right now, and are. Well, did I give them stats? Yeah. You hear the crack of gun.
Okay. Do I see like where it lands? Is there like little poof of
Yeah.
dirt somewhere?
I mean, you can kind of see one of the trees gets hit, and there's a little bit of falling wood, like tree damaged wood, like a little bit of. It's just up in a. It's like one of the bullets hits a tree, so you can see kind of where that was, and then.
Yeah, casually just kind of like turn and. Really?
Yeah. Oh yeah. You turn toward where it's coming from. Not where it hits.
Yeah,
Okay.
but like, the reflexive, like you hear the crack.
Oh, right. So you can kind of
Turn to that, and then back to yeah.
Ah. And you hear the voice. Surrender now, and we won't have to keep shooting.
No.
Don't. Don't. And he comes out. Like. Does he have a name? Jacoby, that you? That you? No, it's. Yes, just stop shooting. Please. Don't. You'll get killed, and They have better guns.
Among other things, yeah.
Yeah. He needs. Are the rest of you doing anything as this plays out?
I'm trying to see if I can locate how many people are there, where they are, see what we're looking at here.
Okay. All right. One more shot does come. This one he rolled really well. So, Finnick.
Yep.
Do you want to dodge?
No.
Okay. In which case you take the stubber damage, which is this is why you open these up ahead of time. It's not going to be any particular penetration. But yeah, you a word to anyone watching, they have really, really good armor. So actually hit location 60, so it'll be the body, so which is the best armor of all.
They're all actually the same in this case.
Even the head as well. You have a helmet. Okay.
Does Harmon have armor?
Yeah, Harmon has.
Yeah, I have
Armor?
guard flak armor.
Oh,
You only
yeah.
have flak.
Yep, I only have flak.
We went this whole.
He wasn't with us at that point,
Right.
so he didn't get it.
Yeah, you guys didn't get. You're gonna have to go back again and talk to this guy again. But
Should just get like 20, 30 sets, and then down the line,
yeah,
if there's any incidentals, we got spares.
there is that. But
Okay, so I'll motion for Harmon to get behind me then
Okay.
if he
Yeah.
so he doesn't get hit.
That works for me. I'm not very battle hungry anyways.
Um. Okay. Yes. Basically, yeah. It's got pen 0 and it's a D10 plus 2 impact damage. So, bring ourselves a D10. That's 6 points of damage at pen 0.
Pink.
And that's concerning. Johan, do you have awareness as a skill?
Yes, I do.
Okay, roll an awareness check if you're trying to figure out as
Okay, do I get any bonuses because they not only yelled but took a shot, which probably made noise too?
Yeah, I would
well.
say I'll allow for a plus 20 because they're actively shooting and that's loud. Well, I would say but a minus 10 because it's night. I'd say plus 10 just because it's also
All right.
nighttime and they're not carrying any light because they're counting on moonlight.
Well, the problem is that the shadows are really messing with my vision, and so I'm guessing my 94 did not
Yeah,
see anything.
yeah. This is loud, and this is also. You really, really wish you'd thought to bring your night vision goggles. You're like, dang it, I need those. That's what we should have brought. Yeah, you're regretting that now.
No, I'm not. I'm not regretting that. I would much rather have the extra donuts that I packed away than night vision goggles.
Okay, that's priorities. Okay, but yes, you guys, are the rest of you doing anything particular? Because other than just watching and waiting.
Yes, I'll ask Jantine while I'm looking. Hey, Jantine, are you able to spot? Are you able to spot these guys?
Yeah.
Yeah. I got thermal vision. I can.
Yeah. I would say with the thermal vision, if you, as an Adeptus Mechanicus, I would say you could probably. Do you have awareness as a trained skill?
No.
All right. I will roll a perception. And I'll let you have full perception bonus because, as opposed to half because you do have the extra bonuses.
Okay. I rolled a 16.
There you go. So yeah, as with your, extra enhanced sight, you're like, okay, plebes, I got this, and you flip the switch on and pull over your eyes, and you're like, okay, and you can kind of see as they're coming, you're like, okay, blah blah blah. They're 3, coming in, armed from what you can hear, probably with solid projectile weapons of some sort. Old school bullets, painful and dangerous, but you guys got good armor, so Harmon's the one that's really, and even then, Guard Flak actually, with 0 pen,
He's gonna feel it, but it's not gonna kill him.
Exactly. Harmon's tough and has flak, so, the Guard Flak is the standard of the Imperial Guard for a reason. Mostly cheapness, but there's that too. Yeah, so you guys, they're coming forward, and yeah, so you kind of, they're probably got 3 adults, probably 2 man 1 woman ish, but they're all pretty solidly built, averagey, bigger side of average for humans. You can't really get them, but nothing, not Ogrins or anything, but you can't really get much more of a read on that than that. They're coming forward. They're coming. They have some sense of tactics.
Yeah, I conveyed to him the direction and distance.
Yeah, and you can get a pretty sort of an idea as Jantine's kind of pointing, and you can't see too well, but you're like, oh, okay, I think I see movement there. You can kind of get a vague idea of where they're coming from. They are running a sort of convergence pattern.
I'm going to yell out, "Gentlemen, we are with the rogue trader ship that is hovering above this planet. We are on official business of the Emperor. I am going to give you 5 seconds to lower your weapons or I will do to you what I did to the other two.
And you hear their companion, who's basically not who's on the ground. It's like he will. He shot my sister. Please don't.
I don't want to hear. I don't want to hear. I want to see weapons lowered. I don't want to hear explanations of why you're lowering your weapon.
Okay,
Just do it.
roll an intimidation check.
Okay. Let me see. Do I have that skill? I think I do.
There you go.
Yes, I do. I have intimidate.
There you
So
go.
that's a what is that? Fellowship?
Strength or
Strength.
fellowship? Yeah, strength.
Correct. Oh, that's good because I have a higher strength. All right.
Okay. What are you? The
And I got a 45. So, and my strength is 50.
oh,
So,
how did you get a 50? Okay, Johan is jacked. No.
yeah, because I've been spending my points
Yeah, fair enough. Johan has been bodybuilding. Okay.
hitting the gym.
Yeah. I mean, it makes sense. This is your thing. Yeah, and as you say that, and hearing their comrade like freaking out, Jensen, you do notice that they are kind of coming forward, and you hear what I'm saying. All right, we're not gonna shoot. Weapons are lowered, and they're coming forward into the clearing. And they all kind of come forward a little bit, and they're holding their weapons. They put them up on shoulder straps, and one of them has his weapon like he's holding it halfway by the barrel, with the barrel pointing up, not pointing at anyone, but you're like you could probably throw it up quick if you wanted to try something, but very much in a down position of not shooting. But yeah, one of them just she runs forward and she falls to her knee. She has weapons slung over her shoulder, hands up. Don't and coming down right on her knees in front of the guy, and just she kind of reaches forward to check the pulse, kind of look over his wounds, and she kind of looking at Finnick like hesitantly, like is this okay? But she's
okay.
I'm not intervening.
Yeah, she's just kind of like puts her ear to his heart, kind of listen to his heartbeat, and she kind of pulls out her pack, and he's kind of looking over. You notice that she has a hard case, that has a snake painted on it, and a little pole wrapped around it. Yeah. And she's kind of looking over the dressing. She kind of looks up at you. You dress the wounds.
Not me personally. That was our medic.
Oh, well, did a good job. Or he, either way. Did a good job of it. I'm guessing it's too late for...
Yeah, she's gone.
Okay.
Jantine, do you see any more creeping sizzlings behind them?
Do I?
No, there's just the three. There aren't
Yeah.
a whole... It's middle of the night. They're the backup. There was the patrol, and then they back up, and that's it. They don't really have enough people, especially because it's the middle of the night. Most of them are, sleeping. They've been sleeping in shifts to try and provide, but they don't have that many people, especially because you killed a lot of their best people.
That was a
I
lot
would
of
feel pretty
information,
secure with that kind of backup.
That was a lot of information, Jantine, from that quick scout. You learned
Yep.
all that just by observation? Lord.
Apparently so.
Nah, that you guys are piecing together from into brain power.
I'm just...
Yeah, you're getting that from your own divine visions from the Emperor via the GM. Yeah.
And you were expecting me to learn the Emperor's Tarot.
Right.
Yeah. Oh yeah. That's true. Does Finnick do the tarot? Can Finnick do
No.
tarot? No. All right.
It's the one discipline that I don't have.
Yet.
All right. How about you? I forgot the flamethrowers guy's name.
Nolan.
And Nolan and Jensine. How about we go out? We'll go and assist Celiax and Finnick. I'm sorry. I saw in your corner that your label fits. I should probably fix that on mine as well.
Yes.
We'll go out and assist and see what is going on. I would just recommend Harmon you staying back just in case things turn into a firefight. I don't want you getting shot, you being our pilot.
You do hear from overhead as you're doing this, the kind of whining of a flyer engine overhead coming towards you.
Okay.
And it's kind of circling lower and lower. And Harmon, you would recognize this maneuver as they have a very small space it's supposed to land in, and they're trying to make sure they find it. They're honing in on that. And you hear over the Vox, "Hey, is there any light I'm supposed to be looking for a landing site for this?"
Do we have any lights?
I mean, I would imagine you have,
Like flare, like something that would light up
like
a
emergency,
yeah.
chemical that you could hold up. Yeah, I would say that.
Okay, I'll ask Jantine if she'd be willing to light a signal flare for the approaching ship for us.
All right. Actually, does Janthine? Well, I was gonna say, have a work light on one of the mechadendrites.
That's a good question.
Work. Yeah, I'm sure. If I've got night vision equipped, I'm sure I've got a light somewhere.
Yeah. So you pop that open.
Probably also have a infrared light somewhere that I could
Use.
use.
Yeah, assuming the pilot has, which they probably. I would say the pilot probably has access to thermal. The flyers don't have great sensory, but they have some. And it kind of comes down. Okay. Move out of the clearing though, because it's gonna be tricky.
Okay,
I'm not harming him.
Are we going to be able to move the wounded guy?
Between if two of you work together, you should be able to scoop him up.
Did you say Harmon is flying or not flying?
No, he's not.
No.
The pilot specifically said he's not Harmon.
Oh, then it should be fine.
Gentlemen, we're about to have our ship land. Could you please move your compatriot out of the clearing so that he does not get squished by our flying vehicle from outer space?
And the two of them look at each other, and they kind of, the young woman kneeling kind of motions to the others and gestures, and they pick him up, and she kind of says, is it like the ones are you sure it's ideal to land it here in the middle of the night?
No, it's not ideal, but this is what we need to do.
Oh, okay. And yeah, she's not gonna argue too much with you because they, and
So I'm curious, how are they responding to Jantine? Because I'm assuming Jantine does not look normal.
I mean,
No,
they're a little bit. They can't see too well because it's the middle of the night, but they're.
Well, they can see because he's got a big work light that's.
Yeah, well, that's true. As soon
Lighting
as
up the
they turn
area.
the light on, they're staring, but also they're a little bit like. It's like okay, so also she's made of metal. Not only are we getting shot at and there's now a flying machine, but also she's made of metal. That's weird. Okay, it's like a input processing error of like, we'll tag that on the list of,
Right.
impossible things that are happening right now. But
Welcome to the world of tomorrow.
yeah, so they kind of move him off, and one of them kind of comes forward. And he kind of reaches out to Jandine. Then, is it okay if I touch you? That's a weird question, right?
Nah, I mean, you're not familiar with someone like me. That's fine.
So you have. How did they? Like, does it the attachment points get infected, or is it is it really an internal, like the seam between the flesh and the, how does that not get infected?
Um, I have an augmented immune system, and it's
Gentlemen, I don't mean to interrupt here, except that you may want to have this conversation not in the clearing.
Well, I'm guessing that Jantine was still fairly out. Yeah, they've cleared
I'm
out
out.
the clearing
I'm
at this
outside
point.
the clearing.
Yeah, and they kind of set their friend down, and then he's kind of like just staring at, just like, so are those micro, how do you get the hinges so small? Like, how small do you have to get the hinge? Like, can you tool things that small? Like, how?
Are you familiar with nanotechnology?
No. Nano
Then
is
it's
in
gonna
the meaning small. Very, very small.
smaller
Machines,
than you can see with your naked eye. Yes.
So like, the they had the micro, the that you use for very, like, germs, right?
We actually have machines that are smaller than you can see.
How?
Nano machines.
But how would you work on something like that? If one of them broke, for example, how would you be able to get in to fix it?
Then you don't fix it. You've got millions of them.
But if, so I suppose if you have an extra one or two, you'd have to swap them out. I mean, that would be very delicate. The tools you would need to swap out ones that wouldn't work would be,
They are their own tools.
how?
The nano machines assemble each other. They work on each other. They work on whatever we design them to build.
And you can see this guy's eyes are just glazing over, like, but,
And they have their own locomotion. They can move themselves into place. You don't
Yes.
have to manually insert them where they need to be.
but if they can move themselves, doesn't someone need to steer them?
That's all part of the design.
But how? So if they can. And as you know, as you're having this conversation, the flyer comes down and. Great. Oh, there we go. Yeah, it hits it. It knocks one branch off a tree, but then kind of evens out and just. Boom. And. Pilot steps out. Okay. We have soldiers. We have. Do we need? The guy. They're all rifles at the ready. Open the door and to the side door, and there are three of them, las guns pointed. We got a problem? They're moving out.
Not yet. Do we have a problem, gentlemen? I say, looking at the rebels.
They're looking at each other, gauging, looking down at their friend, looking off to where I don't think so just yet. No problem.
Just yet. So you're planning to cause problems?
No, it's just you can see his friend just kind of punches him. But okay. We have do you intend to keep screwing us over? The way the High Shot
Me?
has.
I have no idea how they were screwing you over, and I personally don't have that kind of power. I'm just a military man. I don't screw anybody over. I just shoot them if they try to kill me. I'm not a big fan of that. And twice now, your friends have tried to kill me.
You did sneak up in the middle of the night with no warning, no anything.
Because the first group of your gentlemen tried to kill us. We didn't sneak up on them, did we?
No. Were you in the city?
Yes.
And he's kind of manually doing the math on. It must have taken you all day to get. Because word just got here right before. About what happened. A little bit.
Yeah,
of it.
more or less. It was a long walk.
We're just taking in the sights of the new world that we have befriended. And I stress the word befriend. Befriended.
Who are you?
I've said we are a rogue trader ship, the one that is currently in orbit around your planet.
Rogue trader as in merchants?
Mm-hmm.
But why
More or less.
then why did the Emperor in all his wisdom send merchants to make this deal?
Because we're not just merchants. We are, as you can see how we reacted to your companion's attack on us.
You can think of us as empowered at emissaries or diplomats.
We have the holy writ of trade. That is a big deal.
Holy as in the Emperor's blessing. Is
Yes.
that how you got your ears? No, I don't. That's.
Do you think I would have been able to explode your companion with one single shot without the blessing of the Emperor guiding my hand?
I didn't explode.
Not you.
That one over there.
And it kind of heads. We should get her body back before she. Right? Before something comes and eats it.
You might want to grab a light too. Make sure you get all the pieces.
Pieces.
To be fair, I don't think I left a lot of pieces. I hit like a clean shot right down the center that
Well,
just evaporated everything in the middle.
Yeah, bolters leave roughage. Fun thing about our firearms, they don't just shoot a bullet. They shoot a bullet that hits something and then explodes on the inside. Effective, but not fun on the receiving end.
So it's got 2 explosions instead of just the one.
Yeah, you kind of think of it that way.
That's bad.
Well, it is when you're going up against guys who only have single shot rifles or whatever the hell you guys are using.
We have. He kind of looks at his own gun. We do have some of the nicer ones that shoot the red fire.
So why aren't you using those?
We only had a bunch, and we gave them to our best marksman, and not.
Let me put it this way. Those ones are still far and above better than anything you've got. And they're still that's the bottom bare bones quality that we give to every common soldier in the Imperium. So our equipment is still several steps above that.
I mean, we have the Hellgun version. We don't have the basic las gun.
Which is
the
fancy,
point is, you gentlemen.
Yeah, and your 3 guys are kind of circling, very, kind of looking at each other, looking at you, watching this, because this is. They got told, send backup. They sent 3 of them. They're like, oh god, what if there's not? They expected to be involved in a firefight, and now it's kind of a weird negotiation in there.
They're also vastly outnumbered with the addition of the new ship.
Yeah, with the they have
soldiers.
3. Yeah, there's 3 living, 1 incapacitated but alive, who are awake right now. There are more in the village proper. They could wake up, but a lot of their guys did get killed. And you did kill one of their best marksmen. was one of their best because she had they gave her the gun, one of the few they had. But yeah, they go. One of them kind of has hands up. I'm going to retrieve her body. Don't shoot me.
Okay.
Kind of moves forward.
At least they asked nicely.
Yeah. Well, they're
So
also.
apparently you and your group of rebels have an issue with how the Shah is treating you or some such, right?
Yes. That's.
We do not, the people here in this group do not have the power to negotiate any treaties between you and them. But we can arrange, if you guys will stop your rebellion, to talk to our diplomats and see, and you can work out your grievances through them. I cannot guarantee you what any result will be. As I said, I'm just a military man, but at least you'll have a shot then of obtaining your goals. The alternative is that we end up obliterating you and all your buddies into fate similar as these guys over here. I'd rather not have to go through that process because I'm very hungry. I've not had a fresh donut in at least 12 hours and it's starting to make me cranky.
Why? It's in the morning.
We also, hold on, I'm not done. We also need to know who is supplying you these things, this technology, because they're basically setting you up for failure. And we need to know why.
They didn't set us up for. If you hadn't come, we would have been able to roll
You
right
think so?
into the.
Yeah, but the people who supplied you knew we were coming.
Did they? I mean,
Yes.
they sent their men. Well, they weren't. They said they had just been. I don't know. She was the one talking to them, and so she knew more than I did. But according to her, we were. I don't know. They were not.
Does
They
it
were-
seem like you guys have had the best intel so far?
I mean, we knew what was happening. We knew today was the day to do it, and they were right in that way that it was. I mean,
Let me put it this way. All this time and the troubles you're having with the Shah, right? And yet you still don't know what it's like to be treated like a pawn because that's what is happening.
he didn't treat us like pawns. He treated us like dirt.
Yeah, but as a means to an end.
No, not as a means
They
to an
exploit
end.
you for what they can. That's
He exploited
what
us because he
they do.
doesn't like the fact that we're.
Okay, that's again, this is something that we're not able to deal with. We cannot go up and say, "Hey, Shaw, you need to do this or that," because we're just a military wing of our rogue tradership. We have diplomats and people who are professionals who represent the empire and can make decrees, that are approved by the empire. While we are able to do that, that's not what we normally do. And they can negotiate on your behalf depending on what your demands are to end this. But the alternative is not going to be good for you. I can guarantee you that.
He, at least they took us seriously as people.
I just told you we'll take you. Our diplomats will take you seriously.
You will, but the High Shah does what? He's
He
going to
will
lower
when
himself
he-
and talk to.
The High Shah is
Astra?
trying to become part of the empire. He's not the. He may be in charge, but he's not in charge. He has people above him now that he has to deal with.
Likes to pretend we don't exist.
Our diplomats have a lot more clout, so they can leverage that from a position of authority to get you what you want. If it works out that way, if you end up asking for something ridiculous, then that
We
I
were
wouldn't
not
count on it,
asking
but-
for anything about other than control over our own selves.
that's fine.
Being reasonably a proper seat at the table, even or even just acknowledging.
I don't want to read your pamphlet. I don't care. I've said this before. I'm a military guy. We have people who will argue your case for you to the proper authorities and try to work out a deal for you if it's possible.
You have to talk to Jacoby. He's the one who organized this. He's the one who knows, who understands how these things work. I'm no more than a military man.
So do we need to send in our diplomats to talk to Jacoby then, or send Jacoby to talk to our diplomats? What? Because
why don't you speak with Jacoby? In the morning, we'll go and we'll bring you before him.
The morning's gonna be a bit late.
Do you have... Why?
Things are gonna get real loud real soon.
Yes, we've been sent to deal with your little rebellion here, and the gears have already been set in motion.
They've been dealing with our little rebellion for decades. They can't squash us out.
Oh, really?
Oh,
we're not talking about the Shah. They sent us to do it. And did it seem like we had any trouble with any of your troop transports or your rebels with guns in the woods? No. You're not dealing with the Shah now, you're dealing with the Imperium.
So you intend to bomb the village off the map? Is that how you're going to do it? Bomb us all to smithereens and then there's nothing left?
No, that's not the plan. That's not the plan. But it's on the table. It would take all of 10 minutes.
So would you rather have a chance at a seat at the table, or would you rather have a chance of being under the compound as a pile of ashes? We're trying to make this simple for you and easy for you.
High Shah wouldn't be very happy with you if you bombed.
Who?
The High Shah would be our fields. He doesn't care about us, but the fields, if you wrecked the fields, he'd be annoyed.
How imprecise do you think our weaponry is? Good lord.
Remember, to kill us all properly, you'd have to bomb the fields too. We'll run. We'll run and then we'll come back stronger. Our people are forever. Our homeland is forever. We belong.
Wouldn't you have to be outside of the initial blast zone in order to run? Because if you die in the first salvo, nobody's going to run.
There are others in the city. They'll come back. They'll rebuild.
Okay, whatever.
Wait, guys. Okay, hang on. Did you see what they did to... And she's coming back, and the young one she's the one who was trying to do first aid. She's coming back with the body, and I think we should listen to them. At least let them talk to Jacoby. Wake him up. If they're going to insist, we can wake him up. Look at this. She kind of holds up, and you guys have seen, Johan, you're like, okay, yeah, she got her chest, whatever. You've been through 100 battlefields. You've seen what bolters can do to people's, a well-aimed bolter shot. You've seen how it goes. This is, it's pretty bad, though, honestly.
I'm motioning at the other guys. Look at that shot. Damn, pretty accurate on that one.
Yeah,
that must have been like a double crit or something. Good lord.
Yeah, but yeah, her chest, on the left side, you can see there's a hole.
There's a hole in the hole.
Yeah, it kind of pushing outward. You can see a lot of the ribs. The heart, there's a mangled where her heart was. Half the lung is missing. And the rest is just kind of open. You can see half the lung as and the bones for the ribs and all the way up to the collarbone. Just in streaks of extra.
Okay.
Yeah, she's not looking so good. And they're just staring at this, one of their best marksmen, and her body is like this, and they're just You shot her from behind.
Yep, she took off running.
You shot her from behind.
Well, I couldn't let her go warn you guys.
We were already warned. We were already on our way.
How do I know that?
We were already on our way.
How would I know that?
They're kind
It
of
was
looking at
pretty-
each other.
It was pretty suspicious, but what's done is done. So
And the guy on the ground, you can see tears coming out of his eyes, and he just sits up a little bit and let me see her. Let me see her.
are you sure?
She was my sister. When we were little, she
Maybe like put a coat over just.
Oh. And unfortunately, this is the kind of lesson that you need to learn, that being a rebel isn't just playing around in a field and, oh, hey, we're a bunch of rebels, we're making good. There are consequences
she's
to
not the
war
first to
on
die.
both sides.
She's not the first to die. She's not the first to die.
I doubt she would be, and she wouldn't be the last either.
Hang on. We should let them talk to Jacoby. At the very least. We shouldn't dismiss them out of hand, given this. They're not the High Shaw. Their hatred for us isn't baked.
No, it's real from being shot at and being having a large giant vehicle sent our way.
We spent months petitioning, sent our people.
Not our problem. We're trying to solve the problem. We don't know anything about your past, and we're not equipped to deal with it
All right.
in a legal sense. We have other ways we can deal with it, but we'd prefer not to go that route.
And they're kind of hesitating, looking at each other, looking down at her mangled body, and just talk to Jacoby. Speak with him. As equals. On the table. Properly. You say you want to speak. Come to the table. I don't have the words. I'm not one of ours best. I only know how. I don't even shoot well. Enough to be given one of the nicer guns.
I feel like we're going in circles. So is this gonna happen, or are we moving on?
Yes, you're going to speak with Jacoby. You said you were willing to negotiate. You wanted peace. You didn't want to do this.
Yeah.
Nope.
Can you bring him here? That would save a lot of time.
And we
I-
just spent the day walking.
Yeah, and then if he's willing to speak with our diplomats, I mean, we could just load him up in the flyer and go.
They look at each other. And one of them says, "All right, let me go and see if I can't speak with Jacoby. I will bring him here. You've earned that much trust, I think." Yeah, and you guys are gonna wait around for two of them head off, and they leave their maybe medic to kind of do what she can with the one wounded, and just. You said you had a medic.
Mm-hmm.
Which of you are
Oh, he's heading back to the city.
this hour of the night?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, we walked out here at this hour of the night.
You would have had to start during the day to get here, though, from the city.
Yeah. What's your point?
The point is, I it, it, mm. I just I don't know. I'm not familiar with what they used in this. It would be helpful to be able to, so I can know how to when we need to change the bandages and.
Well, didn't the second ship have a nurse on it?
No, they didn't send medics because they assumed you had Andre, and also that they didn't send first aid. They sent 3, and they have you can see a crate full of grenades. That was their plan. They sent 3 3 soldiers and a crate full of grenades and no, not him. Yeah.
I'd like to just like go back over the Vox if I can. 'Cause I'd imagine he probably didn't get too crazy far. He's probably still in range.
Possibly. You can trap on the microbeads.
Yeah. Say, Andre, still there?
Depends.
One of the others here is asking some questions. They're not sure how long the bandages will last before they have to switch them, that kind of thing.
Gave him.
I'm getting a lot of questions that I'm not really equipped to answer.
All right, I gave him 2 stim shots, and that should be in the system for an hour. Probably. I mean, I figured you'd want to talk to him. If you let him wear off, he's going to be unconscious, but he'll be fine. Maybe a little morphine. Don't give him more shot for at least another 20 minutes. I gave him some other non-opioids. It's not ideal. Give him a more shot in 20 minutes. He should, when the stims wear off, and then he's just out of it. But you can sleep it off a bit. Bandages should be good for 4 hours. Don't get them wet. In 4 hours, if they start to lose their stick, you might want to, ideally, get them to surgery sometime. If you can't do surgery, a patch job on the stitch might work, or you can just, there should be more, you can stick another on and it'll be good for another 5 or 6 hours. He's going to need surgery at some point, though. The intestines, they're okay for now. They got nicked, though, and if something doesn't done about that, it's going to be slow and ugly. Also, his spleen should probably come out. Just saying. But that's a few days. You got a few days on that.
I'll try to pass that along.
Is Johan... What am I...
This is Finnick.
Yes, I know you're... I mean, is Johan still gonna be... What's Johan... Did he authorize this?
Authorize...
You talking
what
to me?
exactly? Look, we're just trying to get this whole thing worked out without anyone else getting hurt. Just kind of the idea right now.
Yeah, wouldn't be helpful if you had someone who could, help if someone got hurt.
Yeah, well, it is what it is. Look, we'll talk when we get back. It's there's a lot going on. Just stay safe, right?
Sure. Am I supposed to go back to the ship, or am I supposed to stay on the planet?
If you can make it back to the ship, by all means. Otherwise, I figure you could just meet up with our people in the city and we'll talk to you when we can.
But I am supposed to go back. Despite what Johan said?
He kind of just wanted you off the current team, so to speak.
If you're sure.
This particular mission, you're not being exiled from the ship.
The way he put it, you'd think maybe I was.
We'll talk about this later. Okay, it's just...
You have another medic, though, you said? Someone who's asking questions, who knows to ask?
Yeah. I'm still trying to roll this back over in my mind so I don't forget stuff, so...
Yeah. Okay. Just don't get shot. I, I'm hopefully the other medics got some. Just don't get shot, please. And keep an eye on Harmon. He's got the armor. Just don't get shot, please.
Noted. Okay, so I'll switch that back. Okay, you were asking questions about him.
Yes. What kind of bandage is this? It's actually, and should it be changed out? And did they give him anything for the?
Yes, they gave him some stuff. I would say leave him alone for another hour, and then he's gonna start getting real tired. You can give him some painkillers, morphine, that kind of thing, but don't give him anything else. The bandage should be good for 4 hours or so. Don't get it wet. You can change it out after that point, but he'll probably need to get into some surgery.
Like stitch, I can stitch the wound. That is, I don't know if he needs something. What about Willowbark? What about Willowbark? Would that work? And I have the reduction.
What a
these-
bark?
Well, it's a type of tree. It's from ancient, according to ancient lore. They were gifted by the emperor himself from the holy homeworld of from before.
You're gonna hit him with a tree. I don't think that's gonna
No,
help.
so out of character, willow bark is a natural source of aspirin,
Yeah, that's where
salic-
aspirin was.
salicylic acid. Yeah.
Yeah. So that's what she has. She has aspirin. That's what the painkiller she's got is aspirin. She doesn't have morphine. She's got aspirin because morphine's. They do have synthetic, something similar to very weakened fentanyl, but they don't have poppies. So what they have is synthetic opioids, and they have willowbark and a few other herbal stuff that it works. It helps a little, but yeah, she doesn't have morphine. She's got.
Just hold off on any of that until the stim wears off. Like I said, something like an hour. Just
An hour.
be aware he might need some antibiotics. Looks like the intestines got nicked and sepsis and all that.
Oh, if the intestines nick, that's it. That's it. I mean,
It?
we can. Well, the infect that set in. I mean, you're gonna have to. We have the. I mean.
Yes. All right. We'll probably have to take him with us.
I mean, how? I mean, he might survive if he's strong, and we have the sulfur. We can give him that. It's a course of that
we
though. We
got
really need a
stuff.
proper doctor to administer that.
Do you really want to leave it to chance and we could just take him?
I take him, but what if you don't bring him back?
Well, if he was going to die, it's not like much changed.
But if we get him to, we get the meds he needs, we could get him on a course of that. He might survive it. You said the intestines are nicked, though? Nicked isn't, how bad are the intestines? If we stitch him, can we maybe?
Look,
Yes.
I'm just relaying information. I'm the middleman here.
I feel fine.
No,
You know,
The reality is, though,
Yeah, you feel fine because you're currently amped up on some drugs, so just be aware.
okay. In an hour. Okay, more painkillers in an hour. Okay, that
oh,
we can work
no,
with.
no, remember this conversation we're having? And how you're talking about trying to cure this man with headache medicine?
I mean, it.
And then you're going to want to have a rebellion against us. Are you really sure that's in your best interest?
Well, there's only so much you can do for patients. I mean,
No, there's only so much you guys can do for patients. We can do a lot more, and we can cause these kind of things to happen to people so that they become patients, many of them. It would not be in your best interest to have a rebellion against us.
I mean, you know what to do about nicked intestines.
We knew
Me
how to do.
personally, no. Our doctors, yes.
Would you really? I. Okay. I. Does that mean you could cure soft bones? It's a. Could you cure other things? Not injuries, but illnesses. Do you have other. If your doctors are that good, can they do other things?
Through
Yeah.
natural selection and population control, yeah.
Not the route I was gonna go. Yeah, we can take care of just about any of that. I would imagine a lot of the Imperium's medicine is probably going to start finding its way here now that we've opened up the door to trade, but he might need the services expedited, considering.
Yeah, absolutely. If you can have a trauma surgeon, if you knew someone, we don't have the training in the cities. They have, but we have one. They don't let our. It's very hard to get the training you need when they don't allow the schools to count, and they don't allow.
Stop. I'm not here to read your pamphlet again. We don't care. We can't do anything about that. We're just soldiers. We know you have your issues with the Shah. You can take that up with him. We don't care. We can't do anything about it. Just bring your boss here so that we can talk to him and get this resolved. So that all you guys can have your schools with surgeons and whatever else you guys are looking for. I don't care. Don't care. Don't care.
Yeah, how long is it gonna take for those other two to get back?
It's 20 minutes into the village proper, and then they, however long it takes, and 20 minutes back. So, and that's assuming they can get him to agree to come. And if how long it takes him to wake up and.
Oh, well, he's got about less than an hour before he'll be woken up by well,
Here's another question for you. Do you have earplugs?
Ear plugs. I mean, to cover.
Hearing protection, something to muffle sound.
I mean, we have. I've heard of people plugging up their ears with.
Yeah, you might
plug-
want to do that. If we have to head out, you're probably gonna want to do that.
But what is happening in an hour? That's the question.
It would kind of ruin the surprise if I just told you.
You can't put it off. You have it set up to run no matter what, or
It's hooked up to that flyer, so
but the flyer's here. You don't have to get in and fly it.
I can't fly it.
But what I meant was, you don't have to do what you're going to do you? You're doing it because you feel like you have to, but if we don't have to fight, then you don't have to fight.
we have our orders from above.
We have our orders as well, and I've been breaking them because
Your orders come from a mere man. Ours come from a god emperor.
surely the Emperor doesn't want. Is the Emperor
Are you
so?
presuming to know what a god emperor wants? You would put yourself on that level? Good lord.
I know the Emperor when
You
he
know him?
answers our prayers. I know in the morning when the sun rises that it's the Emperor that he's blessing us. I know when the crops
my
come
God.
well and they think they're not, that's a blessing from the Emperor. I know that
No, that's just a natural function of the universe. But thank you for highlighting your level of technology and knowledge. Or lack thereof.
Is the Emperor not so far above mankind that he can build up greater? Is he not so more powerful we can't even perceive him? Is he not beyond?
No, he's on Terra. I've seen him. So
You could see the Emperor?
I'm a what we call a sanctioned psyker. It's part of a thing called the rite of sanctioning. So yes, I've seen the Emperor's essence. It's kind of a big deal.
This is what would happen to you.
Did we lose Lee?
Yeah, I think we did.
No, I just had the thingy muted to try and defray the echo a little bit because I'm feeling like I'm getting an echo based on what my levels are saying, but that means flipping the thingy on and off, and I have to keep track of that, and I haven't been. I mixed up the mute. That's all.
Okay.
Didn't lose me. I was just quiet for a moment. But yeah, you wait impatiently for. Are the other two of you doing anything while you're waiting?
I guess you're speaking to Janthine and Harmon.
Yeah, Janthine and Harmon. Do you guys want to do anything while you wait?
No, there's nothing in particular I
All right.
have
Then
to do.
about as it's getting up on the hour, you hear more footsteps coming through the woods, and yeah, they're very deliberately trying. You can hear them. You're like, these guys are being deliberate.
Mhm.
They're very trying to deliberately make noise, probably
Sure.
so you don't think they're trying to sneak up on you, and
Right.
you know. But yeah, and you you have soldiers coming.
How many of them?
The two you sent.
Mhm.
A third who looks older, sharp faced, and you notice
He's got a little Che Guevara hat and military outfit on.
no, that would be Jacoby, who's wearing yeah, he looks bleary-eyed and tired and has a bit of a scruff, and he's older, thick set, like he's at least 40, and kind of comes forward and looks between all of you. All right, which one of you is the negotiator who wants to speak with me?
Technically, none of us. We want you to go see our diplomats and arrange this whole thing.
And this couldn't happen in the morning because
Because we're on a timetable, and we are actually postponing our other plan in order to talk to you.
and he kind of looks. Why is this timetable negotiating in the middle of the night?
We have places to be. Our ship is not going to stay in orbit forever.
You're others from off-world.
Yes.
I would have thought the armor and the weapons would have given that away.
It's dark. You'll have to forgive me for being slow. I was asleep, and then I have garbled arguments about. Well, they blew out.
Sir, we're trying to save your people from a grisly outcome. We want We want to give you the opportunity to talk to our diplomat so that you can express what it is you guys are wanting, and that diplomat will see if they can work that into our trade with the Shah.
I see. And you are willing to negotiate with the Shah on our behalf. Why?
Possibly, because we need, the Emperor prefers planets not to have rebellions on them. He prefers order to chaos.
We had order before, and our people.
I don't care. I
And
keep
yet-
telling you,
And
we're
yet
trying
you
to help you
expect-
out.
You expect me to believe that you are on our side, and
I'm not expecting you to believe anything. I don't care, because if you don't, we've been given the authority by our chain of command to rid ourselves of a rebellion problem. We'd rather not go that route. We didn't have to talk to you. We could have just killed you and all your
if you
friendly.
could have just killed me, you could have waited into the morning and
I
had a civilized conversation and not had apparently injured several of my people and then used them as a fear tactic to bring my own, to convince some of them to drag me out in the middle of the night because you are so impatient.
So let me get this straight. We're coming to you looking for a diplomatic option that would reduce the unnecessary bloodshed, maybe a little bit, and you're uppity because you didn't get your beauty sleep.
I find it hard to think that you wanted a diplomatic solution when you came in the middle of the night. It's not about sleep, although that would help. It's about niceties. You show
Do you
so
want
very
do you
little
want to
concern
speak
for
to
the.
our diplomat or not? I don't care about your beauty sleep. I don't care about. I just want to get this over with.
So I was gonna say a bunch of rebels that are in a war are concerned about getting attacked during nighttime.
Well,
It's a war crime, man. It's a war crime to attack during the night.
The attack makes perfect sense. The insisting that you want a diplomatic solution after you attack in the middle of the night, that is the
we did not attack
We
in
got
the middle of the
attacked.
night. We were attacked in the middle of the night.
We approached in the middle of the night and then got shot at.
why.
And we didn't approach in the middle of the night. We approached during the day that turned into the night.
Well, yeah, it took a while to get out here. So
Why did you come from this angle, out in the middle of the woods like this? If you wanted to speak to me, you come in the.
Because we didn't know who you were. We just found out who you were. We didn't have any "please come speak with Joe" signs pointing us to the direct place
Somehow-
that you.
I feel like
Why am I dealing with semantics with you when I don't care and I can't do anything about
see. This
your
is why.
situation?
How should I trust you to negotiate in good faith when you don't care?
Because
That I
I'm
do.
not the negotiator. I'm here to pass along the message and give you the option that's available. You can
essentially,
take the
you're
option.
getting upset at the receptionist when you really should just be heading inside and talking to the people that you're meant to be talking with.
You show so little respect, and yet you insist.
I'm not
insist
insisting
that you
anyone.
want-
I'm starting to get to the point where I'd rather shoot you. So would you rather do this the pleasant way or not? I don't want to shoot you, but you seem awfully hell-bent on getting shot.
You seem awfully hellbent on convincing me you don't want to shoot me when you just admitted you did. Does that make
I
sense?
didn't.
God,
But
just
you
drop
keep-
a macro cannon shell on this place already. Let's move on.
All right,
Yeah.
We can negotiate. I will talk to your people.
I'm gonna negotiate at the end of our macro cannon.
Good then. So you, that one, and then one of you want to go with him just to keep an eye on him. And
I go with him and kind of step
Alright.
forward.
And the
don't
other
leave his
guy
side.
is going. We would prefer if he showed us to the radio that you guys have been using to
The-
contact.
The speaker that talks
Yes,
to the.
that.
The one at okay, I don't have it specifically written down, but
His
from the
mother's
previous
house.
session,
It's his
it's,
mother's
it's like
house.
his mom's or something.
Yes, it's at his mother's house.
Right.
As soon
The
as
one-
you say that, he looks almost pale. Uh-huh. Are they friends or enemies of yours who gave us that?
We don't know. We need to find out.
Pretty sure probably enemies, considering they're instigating and stirring up trouble, giving you guys this wild idea that you're gonna succeed in some kind of revolution.
They did not like the fire revolution. They just agreed to help our cause. Our was sealed. Our rebellion against the Shah was sealed long ago in his own actions. They didn't
Yes,
start
well.
this trouble. They're helping us finish it, but they did not start it.
But they're
So
giving
how
you
does it-
wild ideas that shooting is going to finish it in any other way than ending all of you. Prior to us showing up, yeah, maybe you might have been able to pull something off. Under the full weight of the Imperium, no. You have no shot. It's not going to go well.
Nothing else has gone well either, to be fair.
Yeah,
Not
well,
till
we're trying
now.
to give you a chance to rectify that. But it may cost you an hour of beauty sleep.
I think you misunderstand my misgivings, but I will forgive you that for being foreigners.
Thank you for your benevolence,
I'm glad we're forgiven.
Grand Leader. Can you go talk to our diplomat now so we can
If this...
so that you can benefit your people?
He nods. Okay. Let us do that. We're very clear.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you for your kind acquittance. We appreciate that.
Kind of narrowing his eyes, like he does not trust you guys, but also is not completely stupid and realizes that this is about the only option he's gonna get.
All right, gentlemen. Please leave. Just follow those gentlemen over there onto the ship. They'll take care of you and your. They'll bring your compatriot to doctor's facilities where he'll get treated and patched up, and he'll be good to go soon. And while that's going on, we shall visit your mom's house.
All right, sounds good. A question as GM: can you guys hear the leaf blower in the background? That
No.
I don't.
I have neighbors that are doing leaf blowing at this hour of the day on a Saturday. So, but if you guys, if not coming through, then we'll just let it slide, I guess. Okay. Yeah. So, are all of you guys going to get in the shuttle and go up? Who's going where? You're gonna put Jacoby in the shuttle to send him up to the ship, presumably for some sort of negotiations. What are the rest of you gonna go up as well? And just
No, our group is going to go to the radio to investigate the radio and
Ah,
find more
okay.
information about it.
Yeah, so they have a quick discussion. He has his bodyguard guy go with him onto the shuttle, onto the flyer. He has, how many of, your people are you going to send up with him?
We're taking ours. The people who came with us are all still staying here.
You're going to
except-
send the 3 that came down as backup with them up?
Yeah.
Okay. Fair enough.
They get to play honor guard.
Yeah. He has his own...
I mean, we
honor
want to still have enough stuff and enough people here that if they start getting uppity with their guns, that we have something to
Yeah.
that can respond in kind.
Yeah, and the other, the one kind of the medic among them is like, maybe you said you had a doctor aboard that you could take. You said you promised. Is that,
Right. Yeah.
can I go up with him or is that not until?
No, we said you
Is,
could. Go.
is this the same one that I had said before? Does somebody want to go with him? Or is this a different one that also wants to go?
Yeah. When he said, "Does someone want to go with him?" They thought you were talking about Jacoby and his honor guard. His
No,
bodyguard.
no, yeah, it's you might not have seen. I was pointing down like the guy on the ground. Does somebody want to go with
yeah.
him to keep an eye on.
Oh.
That's what I was.
And she kind of says, "Would you let me go with him?"
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay.
Maybe you can maybe ask some questions, learn a thing or two about actual imperial medicine.
Hopefully. And she kind of looks up at the other two. Are you guys? Don't let them shoot you. I don't have. Izzy's. Wake up, Izzy. All right. So you have somebody in case. Yeah. Go. They brush her off. Go. We'll get the body back. Just take him. She kind of gives a nod, and they pack him up to, all right. So they're gonna take off. I have pilot has to roll a piloting check, which can be rather unforgiving, especially because it is nighttime. And okay, that's half decent though. All right. It is a slow ascent, but it does kind of fly up. You will have, I will say, unexpectedly modified this thing to so now you have a hyper speaker modified flyer for any time you ever need one. Not tonight apparently, because you've figured out an alternate negotiation path, but
Just make sure it doesn't get captured by Slaneshi cultists.
yeah, that. I mean, I feel like once you get Slaneshi cultists getting any of your stuff, you're kind of in too deep. You don't want them near anything. But you know, so far you haven't encountered any, so you should be good that you know of. But yeah, you get led. They're gonna lead the party in through the town. You're pretty far out, so you come in. They lead you up, and there's fields, and you see the fields, and you kind of see as you're coming up, you know, a woman's kind of standing. You come up to this. The first thing you come to is a farmhouse. And you kind of see this kind of older woman with graying hair, wearing what you can only assume is a nightgown with a coat over it, just watching. And the others, they go pale, and they look at each other, and they look at you, and they look at her, and they look at you. And
Okay, so I know where to go, and I know what she looks like. Is this the woman?
no, this isn't Jacoby's mother. This is
somebody else.
This is
Are we
yeah.
in the right place though?
Well, the thing is, you have to go all the way up first. You have to go into town. Through this, you have to go through the fields, up past this farmhouse, and then into town
so
proper.
just walk by.
Yeah,
Okay.
but she is kind of going to. They're really nervous, and are you gonna leave? They have the body wrapped in a cloak. They don't want to leave her, so they're carrying the body. And they look at you, and they look at the woman, and they look at you, and they are just.
There's a lot of looking around.
Yeah, and they look to you and said, how would it be? How soon do you need to see this thing?
Why?
She had her son is dying, her daughter is dead, and she doesn't even know. And
Oh. Okay. How about this? If you're not going to cause any trouble, why don't you just go ahead, break off, tell her the news, and you're fine. We don't need you anymore.
they look at each other, and they look at you. Look at your ears. They look at you. They're piecing together what this means.
We already know where we're going, so
They kind of lean into each other, and then she sees the body, and she's coming down to talk to you guys. And they look at you, and they look at her, and they are that freaks them out a little bit because they you shouldn't know that. The fact that you hypothetically know that is a little bit disconcerting. And they're arguing. They kind of lean in
you need to have
and
your moments or whatever.
touch cheeks to each other, and then they split. And one of them says, "We can lead you this way. I can lead you this way. I shouldn't send you there alone, even if you knew. Even if you're right about knowing."
All right.
It's bad enough in the middle of the night like this. And kind of leads you further down path toward town.
Everyone can look confused and look back at his group and like, do these guys not have late night areas? What is this big obsession about not wanting to be in the middle of the night? Why does that matter?
Someone kind of shrugs. I don't know. Most people are asleep, I guess. I mean, on planets, it tends to be weird about day-night cycles. That's like a thing on planets. People are weird about day-night cycles.
Yes, I don't know.
I mean, you grew up on a planet, right?
I sure did, but we had lots of nocturnal life that went on.
Really? Yeah, but how
I
long?
mean, when you're trying to run, when you're trying to do legitimate business, sometimes that takes place at night.
Yes. Uh-huh.
Or just try not to get eaten by some gigantic nocturnal beast.
Well, yeah, but that wouldn't holding up and with guards be a better option for late night than if you had gigantic nocturnal beasts?
Most of the really dangerous ones are up at night, though. You're safer to sleep during the day because you're less likely to get bothered.
Yeah, but then you're still running the day-night cycles. It's just opposite day-night cycles.
If you think of it that way.
So I mean, whatever planet you're from, didn't you have times of the day and night where you did stuff, right? Is that not a thing on planets? I don't know. I was born on the ship. I don't. And we have our ship day-night cycle, and that's when you're off shift, it's a pain in the ass when you're off shift and people are trying to yell at you.
Right, but you have other people that are on other shifts.
Right, but apparently these are
It's not
shift
just
people.
a homogenous everyone at the same time thing.
Yeah, but I mean, I don't know. Maybe the day shift people are the ones at the house, and they're gonna get all pissy that their shifts are off. I get it.
Sucks
Yeah.
to suck.
Well, on a ship too, you like, I don't know about your crew, but we try to keep combat readiness by having.
Well, yeah, obviously.
We don't keep everybody in like set hours all the time. We change up the schedule so that our soldiers will be ready to fight during day conditions, during night conditions.
I mean, the ship
all
conditions are
conditions.
not that different day and night conditions, honestly. Nolan's kind of like, I mean, yeah, we do switch up our schedules, that's true, but honestly, yeah.
But what I'm saying is that these guys seem to have only day and only night, and there's no people who work the night shift. It seems.
And the kind of soldiers points out, like, but it's dark. We don't work during the night. We have patrols to protect. You saw that, but
Turn a light on.
you can't just light up the entirety of the even with lights. You can't work the fields at night. I mean, during harvest you work as late as you can, but
There's like no clerical work or anything else that you can be doing.
I mean, the people who are clerical. I mean, during the harvest, everyone just works
Yeah,
the
wouldn't it
fields
be
during
more-
the day, and
Isn't it more efficient to have cycles running 24/7 instead of just?
people can't run 24/7.
You
Or
you don't have one
24/7 is
You
a
don't
really
have one
weird
person.
measurement also of how time.
Well, whatever your
I-
full day,
seven-
is, a full day cycle.
7 is there a 7-day cycle? Is that a thing?
Well, you'll be introduced to that soon enough when our agricultural teams arrive on planet.
But
I think
every
it's an ancient Terran reference that has gone out of date a long time ago, but we kind of use
I mean,
it
there
in
were rumors, but the fifth day is the day. Every 5th day is the Emperor sacrifice day, and you go and you we don't do animal sacrifice. Should we be? Does the Emperor want animal sacrifice? We stopped doing
Animal
those, but does the
No.
Emperor? Okay, good. We stopped doing those, but if you stop an ancient tradition and then you representatives of the deity himself come and then you realize that you're supposed to have kept it up. We brought the diamonds and we keep the ores as prescribed, but some of the old prescriptions are for metals we don't use, and I don't know why. It's some of the old ones. The metals are we don't know what the Emperor wanted with them. Will the Imperium want all of the old metals that we don't know what to do with anymore? Do you think?
Oh yeah, absolutely. In fact, that's probably already taken care of in the negotiations.
It's there are old traditions. We gave up, our people long ago gave up the metals. We are people of the land. We feed people. We have one metal that we keep, and it's the most powerful of them all. And that was a point of bitterness, I think, and that we gave up the metals but won. And I think now, of course, it's different, but it was an ancient.
Why do every one of you guys have to have a backstory? I just keep talking and talking. Oh, you're killing me. Could you please show us to your radio that you were going to lead us to?
Now, yeah, up here. There's the building, and yeah, and you can see as he's speaking, you come up to the building. It looks like an average everyday house. You've come as you come in closer to the village proper. The houses are closer together. People have yards, but not farmland. And he comes up to the house, and he kind of turns to you and says, It's going to be slow. Don't.
No, it should be rather quick, actually. I'm gonna go just walk up to just open the door and walk in.
Wait. It's
What?
They don't know you're coming, and it's nobody has.
Should we make an appointment? We
At
have things
least
to do.
knock on the door. It's polite.
Should you knock on the door and let them know we're coming?
And he starts knocking. Yes, just let me talk to them, please.
All right. Make it quick.
He kind of bangs on the door, and after a minute or two, it opens, and he kind of bows. Things have gone horribly, horribly sideways. And we need to access the device. She looks at him and says, it's the middle of the night. I know it's the middle of the night, and understand that is not ideal, but given circumstances, I think please, I don't want to end up. We have already had 2 of our guards been shot already, and more
I know. Been tragic.
kind of gestures. They come from off world. They have the way it was. They have methods of through the air like the others do, and they're enemies or friends or I don't know, but please, you have to let us. And she kind of looks up and down at you, looks at Finnick, looks at Johan, looks at Janthine with, and then Harmon too, and just kind of, and then Harmon and Johan, who are kind of fairly normal looking, if better equipped than usual, and then Finnick and Janthine, who are just, and just,
What? Is there something on my face?
no, I,
Is it the tail? It's got to be the tail, right?
I have never met a human with a tail who wasn't witchborn.
Oh, okay.
And witchborn are dangerous, and
Hey, what a coincidence. I'm dangerous. So, we go?
she kind of gives a nod and just, I don't know what my son was doing with it. It was supposed to be a secret. How you knew.
And then I'm just gonna, like, go to walk past and, like, start heading upstairs. Because it's in the attic, right?
Hey, do you have no
What?
respect?
Oh, thank you very much. We're gonna make this quick so as to get out of your hair.
But how do you know what? Let me show you where it is.
It's in the attic.
And as you say that,
Hey, Lee,
yeah,
would it be okay if Rob, does Rob need to be here? I think he's
no,
kind
oh,
of,
is something going sideways, and I'm not.
yeah, he's
yeah.
looking like he's
Something going sideways on his end.
he's off the screen. And I
Okay.
mean, he
Also, I think a 15-minute break would be not a 15-minute, like a 5-minute break would be helpful for all of us. So,
okay.
I should not be doing that. Okay. Freaking. Let's see. Okay. Here's what we're gonna do. I would suggest a 5-minute break for us, and then if we can get Rob back, if you know, I'm sure it's something like with one of the cats needed assistance or something.
He was looking like not great.
Yeah. If he's, I'll, you know, if something went wrong on that end, I'm gonna suggest a 5-minute break, and then, come back for another hour or two. Does that sound like a good plan for everyone? Unless you,
I can stay for another hour.
and
Whenever
then-
it's about 12 my time,
yes, 12 o'clock.
but then I gotta go
All right.
because we still have people coming over. So I
Yes.
gotta set up the rest of the way for that.
All right. So 5-minute break, and then you'll find the machine, and then we can go from there. And sound like a plan? Okay. 5-minute break. Let me do the thing, and then back in 5 minutes. Let me, not that one.
Okay.
Okay. Yeah, I had to update my audio input buffers so that it did the thing with the thing. Because I had to re-put in my... Yes. Majiggy, what's it? Okay. Let me check this thing. Okay, we all back? No, we're not... Rob's not back. Okay. But... Okay.
I hope he's alright.
I hope so too. Okay. Let me see. No message in there. Let me send a quick bip on this side. Oh, you could. Yeah, they're mostly all confused as to yeah, they're all also shenanigans. They're also they're all a little confused because they are not sure what to make of someone who yeah, you guys are not making sense in their worldview, and they are all confuzzled. Alright. Okay. Let me... we have a few people watching. Not a lot, but at least one who's lurking, so that's good. I didn't do a good job in putting the Majiggy what's-its thingies, because I got distracted by that because it didn't work on the one thing, so if that makes sense. No, right, words, actual words. Discords. So, also we're streaming over both Phoenix and, Lord Gazimba, who are both really good streamers, and we're probably gonna raid one of them, so, you know, that makes sense. Yeah. So if we're streaming over two really well-known community streamers, it does tend to, you know... Alright. Yeah. But yeah, we're streaming over both. Yeah, so... It's a really good Saturday for streaming, apparently. So, alright, if Rob's not back, I'm going to... Oh, right, that was what I was gonna do. I was gonna poke and, that's what we were gonna do. We were gonna go to, the Majiggy, not that one, this one, and... that one. Okay. Yeah, so I'm thinking we go back to streaming, and we show ourselves on the camera. Is everyone ready? Okay. 3, 2, 1, this one. Hi! Welcome back. one of our players is not feeling so good, so he had to duck off very quickly. But he said he'll be back. So otherwise, I think we're gonna keep going though. If we're ready, you guys are. She does show you. It is very frightening. You guys are. I smell a couple on Aplasia. You've gone to this small village, in this. So I need to note this down so that I know for next time. Injured rebel. Yeah. So. Yeah, the bodyguard. Yeah. So you basically went to this planet and you're talking to the rebels. You negotiated after a tense, awkward negotiation for their leader to go back up onto the ship. To Odette is. Did you tell Odette you were gonna send him?
No.
Ah. Okay. Well, that will fall to Hero, the young man who they sent to pilot. He's gonna have to explain all that. In the meantime, you guys are going to look over the radio that they have, the Vox set that they were given to negotiate with their mysterious off-world contacts. And it's being held in the attic of this Nikobe's mother's house, and she is trying to show you where it is, and you tell her you already know, and she's confused now about all this nonsense.
Yeah, I'm trying to just like walk on ahead and like.
She's like,
make
no,
my way up
this
there.
is my house. You're coming in my house in the middle of the night expecting me. I'm gonna show you where this is. It's bad enough that you're sending a witch child to my house in the middle of the night to, like, you know, and maybe, you know, having possibly shot somebody, and, you know, this is no, it's creeping her out a little bit, but she's like, all right, gonna show you
But
where it
if
is.
it makes you feel any better, you have a very lovely home.
She blinks. Thank you. My late husband, well, built it, and, he was...
That wasn't an invitation for you to tell me your backstory. I don't care.
She blinks.
I was just giving you a compliment.
Thank you. Is backstory... Is that a term you would use to describe someone's life story?
Yes.
Why?
Because it's your story, but it's also your background. See? Backstory.
I suppose. I hadn't ever heard the word used before. Though I suppose everyone has past.
Oh, trust me, I've heard. Everyone seems to have a backstory.
Well, yes, everyone has a past, but surely knowing
And
people is understanding and letting them speak about their past little by little as needed.
Well, that's the problem. It's not as needed. It's as encountered.
Well, people like to speak, like to tell stories. That's how people
Yeah,
are.
but I'm on a time limit here. I've got time. I've got things to do, places to be.
You're associating with an interesting cadre of people.
Says the rebel who's hanging out in a small village, trying to take over the world.
I don't track with.
Anyways, could you please kindly show us to the radio?
Come.
Yeah.
Follow.
Depending on how distracted she was with that conversation, I'm already like going steps.
And she spins around. You see, you have a witch child who allegedly knows. How does he know? And you come
Ma'am,
to
the longer it takes you
and she's leading
to
while you're having this
bring him the
conversation, she's
radio, bring
watching
him
you.
to the radio. He
She's-
may be tempted to go into your mind and forcibly put you on side so that he can go see the radio. So please,
She's leading
just
you.
cooperate.
She's as you're having this conversation, you're walking up a set of stairs, and toward the end of the hallway. And Finnick, you know that it's the attic. Is you have to pop open the trap door in the ceiling, and you're already doing it.
So I'm fiddling with that.
And she's just like, how did he know? You have a witch child who knew where my attic was, despite never having been in this building. Does it not bother you to travel with someone who is so casual with secrets?
Nope. We are all open to the Emperor,
Well, yes, the Emperor knows our innermost thoughts, obviously,
and
but
he is a direct representative of the Emperor. So why would he not know these things?
he is. He's a holy man.
Sanctioned.
Is there a difference?
Yeah. The ones that aren't sanctioned are.
Don't fall for her tricks, Finnick. She's
I-
trying to distract you again.
I'm not
Keep
trying
on the
to
mission.
distract you. You're so a witch child, but you're a witch child with the blessings of the Emperor.
More or less, yeah. That's kind of the gist of it.
And she's kind of leading you. She follows you up, Finnick, up the ladder as you kind of pop it down. And she comes, so she'll follow you up the ladder, and then beckon the rest of you to follow her up the ladder.
Okay.
And you come to a small office, essentially. There's boxes of things stored, random furniture that's probably been thrown up here to stash it. A few chairs that are questionable, probably busted. And then one that's a stool and a table, and you can see the radio, the Vox set right where you knew it was going to be, sitting on its pedestal. It's
Well, this would be the part where I would say, all right, Janthine, can you do your magic?
yeah. So Janthine will go and start, poking around. We'll pop. The one other soldier who's with you is just kind of nervously, pacing back and forth.
Are there any windows in this room?
There is one small, shuttered, window of sorts.
Yeah, I'll motion for the pacing soldier to go look out the window and watch for people approaching the house.
He kind of looks at you, but pokes his head out of the lookout position. There is a lookout post. A little. If I go, will you shoot me in the back?
Oh, it's not
As
our
long as
soldier,
you're-
it's their soldier. I thought you meant it was our soldier.
Yeah, no. Nolan is just kind of, who's the one soldier who's with you, is kind of shrugging.
Well, I'll ask Carmen to do that, since he doesn't seem to he's not flying a plane right now or a ship, so he's probably looking for things to do.
Yeah.
Hey, Nolan, can you look out in the lookout post to see if anyone's approaching us?
Yeah, he kind of goes up and looks at Harmon, and kind of examines, he'll do a whole perimeter check. Well, Janthine's oh shit, there's a whole, post up here. He's got a point. Check it out. I'm gonna kind of beckon you over. And if you go up, it's kind of built into around the eaves of the house. There's a little bit of a catwalk.
Okay.
And he'll kind of beckon Harmon out, and yeah, you guys can get a pretty good view of the house and the surrounding area. And there's a narrow passage, and then you go around to the other side. You can see from the other side, so you get a full view of the surrounding house.
Let's say we're connected. I think, are we connected essentially, or just through the microbeats?
Yeah, just microbeats at the moment.
Okay, so I think I guess Harmon and I will patrol outside, but if you need us, just give us a call and we'll come.
No problem.
All right. So yeah,
Harmon, you'll thank me for this later. I'm not worried about people encircling the house. I'm more worried about having to listen to more of these stories.
um, and yeah, the woman who let you in is kind of watching Janthine, kind of curious about this thing because she had this in her house for weeks, and it's some sort of marvel, and Janthine's just kind of pulling it apart. It does have a trans. To note several things. One, the transceiver is locked. It is locked on a specific signal length, so it's not. It doesn't have a dial where you can adjust the signal. It is very specifically locked, which means it was probably built for, you know, communication with one specific. Tuning her own microbead to that, she can also tell you that whoever is, that there's no transmissions coming through. That, you know, and it does have an outgoing, it does have a microphone pickup that's also locked on the signal. And that one is, she sets up the signal so that you guys could talk to it, but has yet to get an answer. Basically is send an outgoing signal. Well, that's the question, is you could get the soldier you have, who's pretty much a hostage at this point, one step above a hostage, to send out a signal asking for help from whoever it is and see if they respond. You could send out a message seeing if they respond. You could wait until they send a signal and try to trace it back, or you could try something else. These are just suggestions. It appears to be a fairly standard Imperial, probably manufactured on a Hive world originally. The locking the receiver controls was done post, like, secondary. So basically, someone bought a Vox set and locked it like this. So it was done secondhand. You know, by someone who kind of knew what they were doing. Not by an official tech priest in Mechanicum. The workmanship is not quite up to that level, but it's by, like, a trained Hive World technician level decent. So someone who kind of knew what they were doing from a fairly high-tech world. Locked it. Do you guys want her to do any kind of other analysis since you got it?
I'm not sure what else we can really get out of it. I feel like sending a signal is probably a bad idea.
Okay.
Just alert them to that we're up to something.
True.
And we don't know. I suppose I could just ask her. The woman that owns the house.
Yeah.
So how long has it been since the last time they contacted?
Just a few, half a cycle of the small moon ago, roughly. Give or take a bit. And then they sent I don't know exactly. They sent something. They managed. I don't know how they do it. It's like one of those cars in the cities, but they managed to make it fly, and they used it to bring in some very big piece of metal, and weapons and guns. They brought guns.
That was the APC shipment. Got it.
But they sent that in, but this hasn't been since then. It's been fairly, and then Jacoby they had word from the city that there was going to be something, that someone had arrived, that they had a ping, and so they said that was what they were waiting for, some signal. They had no signal, but Jacoby felt that disrupting that was going to be, the High Shah's been something, but he thought maybe if, I don't know tactics, but he said it was timing was everything, and timing to whatever was happening in the city seemed prudent, although now I get the feeling that somehow not. The Emperor is displeased with that.
You might say that, yeah. Is this normal for the time between messages to be as long as it is, or
I don't know. I don't. It was, none of this is normal. This is something beyond. I mean, I've been trying to organize something for years, but this is new, and it was a blessing. He said that was help from beyond the stars, proof perfect that the Emperor did believe in our cause, that our prayers weren't in vain, that he would make sure that they treated us better. I don't
that
think
might still happen.
I don't think so. High Shah, they don't. Star Run, we're not real people to them.
Well, the High Shah isn't really in charge so much. He answers to us, so.
Are you? Well, yes. I suppose if you are direct emissaries of the Emperor, which is, if you can convince him of that, then maybe. What's?
Well, Jacoby is already talking to our diplomats, and then depending on whatever they cook up, could have some amendments made to our dealings with the High Shah. So,
he's not. Is he?
Not what?
You didn't take him. Where is this negotiation?
Well, our ship is in orbit. So
Orbit. What does that mean?
Up.
Up as in beyond the sky?
Yes.
You took my son. My boy. My oldest boy. He's...
Well, yeah, he'll come back when he's done.
Are you not going to shoot him? Drop him down to fall and die?
What purpose would that solve?
I don't know, but...
If we wanted him dead, we could have just shot him when he would... There'd be no point in hauling him all the way up there just to kill him.
But why can't... You sent him, my only...
Phoenix, done her. Done her.
You come in the middle of the night and you tell me that my son is... I mean, I was expecting him to be arrested, shot, possibly. Then we'd at least have a body to mourn, but he's beyond that.
You'll see him again in a day or two. Let's just settle down.
Done her.
I'm going to make tea. I think that would make a proper tea. And I'll make... This is not the time of day to be having cake, but you know what? I think
you
that
can
would be
have
best.
whatever you'd like. I'm already,
But
I have my canteen
but
as I like swirl some liquid in what is very clearly a hip flask.
She kind of frowns, snorts, and then says, "No, I'm making tea and cake because we are going to have a proper your guests in my house." And very clearly things got off on the wrong foot, but you've seen the speaker, so whatever necessary has been done. And we can have we can do this the proper way.
Ah,
And then that is, it would be remiss of me not to, at the very least, for the safe return of my son, to at least offer you that.
I mean, you're gonna get that regardless.
Kind of hesitates. Even still, it's proper. Do you not expect in another's house to be properly greeted? I mean, circumstances were less than ideal, but do you not expect proper hospitality? Does the Emperor not demand that of his people?
Under other circumstances, maybe, but
Then
trying to expedite things as much as we can.
you have your metal woman can surely has her hands on this important whatever it is.
So then, when she finishes up, then we could just go. I don't want to be stuck here and.
But surely you have whatever was so pressing. If the negotiations are in flux, that you can't be much help before the negotiations are done anyway, can you?
For negotiations, no. For other things, I have a lot of other stuff I could be doing.
Surely, though, the Emperor doesn't expect you to just constantly move and not offer you.
No. On occasion, I sleep. As you said, it's the middle of the night. We walked all the way here from the city. So.
Then stay, rest.
No.
Surely you could use the rest.
I'd like to get back to my bed. I could rest there.
I have a bed.
Mine's better. I'd rather be there.
But then you'll have to walk all the way back.
Or jump on the shuttle. Whichever the case.
But I'll make tea and cake. If the shuttle comes back, then it will have been made for nothing.
See, Harmon, I spared you all that.
Indeed.
Yeah, but she's gonna go and she's going to make you tea and cake. Because it's like your guests in the house and you know, considered impolite not to make tea and cake for your guests. And if circumstances necessitate expediency, then yes, you begin with that, and then you have the tea and cake afterward to celebrate. It's,
Or we finish up our business and then get out the door before she finishes cooking.
Yeah, except the shuttle's not there. The flyer's not there yet. So you don't really have... I mean, you could try walking back to the city, but... Or you could wait. That's up to you, actually. Janthine says she's got about all she's going to get from this machine. She's done whatever, the best analysis she can. She wants to take the pieces back to the ship for her own workshop.
Oh, absolutely.
All right. So she'll pack up as best she can. Nolan kind of looking at you. Should I get the others from the whatever lookout thing and tell them we're done here?
Sounds good. Hey, we can actually get moving.
Yeah. So yeah, Harmon and Johan, who are kind of vibing up and pacing around and watching the area, at this point, the moons have gone down, and the sun is, you know that, like, right before sunrise, when it's, like, not sunrise yet, but the light starts to kind of filter in, where it's, like, it's that type of time of night, day, morning, evening, it's that time. So,
Okay.
and then you hear your own Nolan guy poke us up. They finished. Janthine's done with the Vox thing, and there's tea and cake for later if you guys want it.
No, I'm good, thank you.
Well, should we head out? If
Yeah,
Janth-
let's head out.
All right.
I'm gonna contact Odette.
Okay.
Hey Odette, how are the negotiations going?
Negotiations. Really?
Mm-hmm.
You sent up a negotiator without telling me you were sending a negotiator?
No, I sent a guy to tell you to contact you that you're negotiating.
This is. You could have warned me that this.
I did warn you.
I had 20 minutes when Hero lifted off the shuttle and said, "Oh, by the way, we're bringing a
Hey,
negotiator back."
we're in the big broad universe. Things move fast out here. You got to keep up to speed.
Or you could negotiate proper.
I'm not a negotiator. What? You really want me negotiating on behalf of the Emperor?
No,
Really?
no, absolutely no. But that's
Then
beside
who here would I have negotiate? Would you think Finnick would be a great negotiator? Would you think that'd be?
Actually, Finnick's not.
He's not a negotiator. I don't think he has.
He has charm.
Actually, would I know if Finnick was a personable negotiator?
From what you've seen of him, talking to everyone, he seems like people seem to be, he seems to
Doing
be
what he wants them to do.
Yeah, well, that too. But you're pretty sure at least half of that is just he's like very disarming. You figure it's a large like Finnick is not.
But that's
the
not
worst.
that's not a professional negotiator. That's
No,
just-
he's not like an expert or anything, but he's good
Yeah.
at immediate emergency patch jobs.
Out of character, I have a fellowship of 21.
Yeah, but you're really good at roleplay, so it evens out somehow into like.
Yeah, but you still have to make checks when you're role playing.
Yeah, that's true. If you had to actually negotiate anything, you'd probably fall short. But immediate,
Here, I'll make a
convincing
charm.
people.
I'll make a charm test. That's that's
Did
like
you-
eight degrees of failure.
All right, fair. If there were actual
Okay.
negotiations on the line,
Jantine, you think our robot person is
Janthine and Harmon are very personable actually.
yeah,
to
but
be
then are they?
Not
Harmon.
skilled negotiator, but Harmon.
Do you have any negotiating skills on
Harmon?
your
Yes.
character sheet?
Harmon has the highest
I
fellowship out
have
of
52. Yeah, I have 52 for my
yeah,
fellowship.
like that.
Yeah, but that's
Harmon
not a
and
negotiating
Janthine both
skill,
have
that's
high
just-
fellowship. I specifically
I
offered
have a
up
48 fellowship. It's not like I have a small
no, but
fellowship.
you don't negotiate on principle. Yeah. That's the only reason I would puts up with you, but that's just kind of size.
Take no diplomatic prisoners.
I have better negotiators on the ship if I can get them into position and not. I mean, luckily all of the seneschals had already gotten back, but imagine if they hadn't, because I didn't know we needed them on the ship because I assumed that. Yeah. This is Captain
Okay,
Bizarre.
so you also haven't answered my question. How are the negotiations going?
They're going
So it's
He's
gonna
very-
be,
adamant that it was, and I actually agree on his point. Why did you go in the middle of the night to try and do this instead of if you intended to have negotiations Why
We
did you
weren't
just try to
planning on
sneak up
having
in the middle of the night?
negotiations. We were planning on going in there and killing a bunch of rebels.
Oh,
Then,
Did you guys forget that part?
yeah, but then why didn't you go kill the
We were
rebels
going to
instead
negotiate with guns, which is better in the middle of the night.
I feel
Oh.
like if you were going to kill them, you should have killed them. If you're going to go, I feel like you're splitting hairs.
Things
Like,
changed. They made we found it would be easier to negotiate instead of having to kill them all. Come
Then-
on, surely you can see that, right?
I suppose, except that
You want
made
me
it
to?
as if it
I
was a
mean, we're still
military
here. We can
operation
kill
and
them
then
all.
Switched
You want me
their
to kill
mind
them?
halfway through and decided to negotiate. That's a tactic. I'll admit, it is a tactic. I'm not sure it was the best tactic, but it was a tactic.
The first tactic led to the second tactic. Me shooting people in half
Yeah,
led to a sudden resolve to want to negotiate.
I suppose shock and awe is an interesting point on that.
And shock and awe works better in the middle of the night than it does during the day.
Yeah, there is a certain amount of factor to that. I still wouldn't have done it, but okay.
You know, Jantine, not Jantine.
Harmony.
Odette, would you think
Oh,
like you make a better person on the comms than I do, right?
no, honestly, I just got stuck on the comms because the captain decided you should go down to the planet. I'm just stuck on the comms.
Well, you're still better than I am.
Yes, but I think Finnick would
So-
have been better on this than you were.
And I trust you at what your job is, which is to make sure you patch me to the right person and do that. Why am I hearing you questioning me about what I'm doing?
Because my job is not on the
Well, you're on the comms, right?
I am stuck here, yes.
That's your job then, right?
No, it's not really, but it has to be.
But that's your job right now on the ship.
I suppose, yes, I've been put on comms.
And when you're on there, you're probably going to try to do your best, right?
Yes. I'm not going to purposely screw up.
Then that's your job right now. So why are you making? What was the fuss?
And you can kind of hear her sigh. Johan, just next time, will you tell me before you send the flyer up with the diplomats expecting a proper negotiation?
I will 100% completely try to think about it the next time that it happens.
Okay. Yeah. They are hosting negotiations. They have a lot of grievances that I think are in-baked, and I don't know. It seems like this planet is less unified than ideal, which is we have options. We can just say screw it and leave them to deal with the rebels, bomb the snot out of the villages if we have to, or we can try and, if we're going to be here long term, it would behoove us to keep things as smooth as possible. Yes?
Well, the good news is that Jantine has the radio device.
Oh, yes, the Vox. That.
Meaning, well, see, there's what I did not let our esteemed mother know is that by Jantine taking the box, that means that they can no longer receive messages from whoever's contacting them, giving them all this information without us knowing, because we're now aware of their presence, so we can keep on the lookout for it. And they would have to actually land on the planet again to give them a new one.
I feel like if she has any kind of intelligence, she'll understand that if you take it, they're not being able to communicate. I feel like she's going to be able to draw that conclusion.
Yeah, well, she was also one that was like, so there's, you can go to the outside the planet to the stars world. She was that kind of level of of intelligence. So I'm not
That's
I'm
ignorance.
not 100%
There's a difference
positive that's
between
true.
ignorance about the nature of the universe and being able to draw basic conclusions on logic. Those are two very different skill sets.
Sure, but she had a device that could contact another planet, and then had no idea about other planets.
I mean, yeah, a
So
single device that could contact somebody, possibly.
where did she think these mysterious visitors were coming from? Had she seen any technology like that on her planet?
I don't know what conclusions people can draw, but I've learned that you should not underestimate that feral worlders do have some brains, and as soon as they start getting an idea of it, they can logic stuff out. And I have learned that they can learn to reverse engineer weapons and bite you in the ass, among other things. So don't underestimate feral worlders. And
Okay, but the thing is that you have to have the technology that can reverse engineer stuff. Like
I'm
I
not
could
saying
hand
she could reverse engineer it. I'm saying she's probably can come to logical conclusions, and you shouldn't dismiss her offhand like that.
Well, the good news is I hopefully never ever have to see her or listen to her again. So there's that.
Yeah, how are you getting back? Where are you
Well,
now, and how are you getting back?
we are outside the house, and that's what we that was part two of my question. Are you guys able to send a shuttle? If not, then we will have to walk to the city.
If I can send, I suppose I could send Hero back with the while the negotiations are ongoing.
All right, good enough.
Also, you should have sent word ahead that we needed Medicaid. Andre should have been. Is Andre with you?
No, well, I think he's headed back to the. I think he's headed back to the city, isn't he?
That, in and of itself, speaks to something having gone wrong. But, you know, I would have expected a medic, and I get a local medic of sorts who is. She's not dumb. And she's with Dr. Kurosawa now. They have a few. They're doing surgery. He should make a full recovery. If that makes it any better. I don't know.
Yeah, well, sure, whatever.
If you care. But that would aid your negotiation, I'm sure, is to have as few of their people dead as possible. You know, good faith sign of that you don't want to
Sure.
destroy them.
See, we have impressed upon them that we can do both, and they get to choose which one they'd rather be on the receiving end of.
That is not. I will give you credit for that. You have successfully impressed upon them that you can be merciful. I will send the flyer with Hero down. Should I land in the village proper or in the clearing?
In the village proper, if he's got room. They all know we're here.
All right.
It's much safer too. If I think I'm gonna look around. Is it much safer? Is there more room?
There does seem to be more room for negotiation, and now that it's lighter out, it certainly would help.
And it'll impress upon the villagers our technology as opposed to
Yeah.
what they've been dealing with. So yes, that the in the village sounds good.
Okay. Yeah.
Guys, I have to get rolling.
Yes, that's why I was going to say. So you are going to get scooped up. Send the flyer. Yes, it's sending flyer back for team. Yeah. So next week or next month we will find a date and we will pick a good one, and hopefully nothing goes wrong last minute. And
Right.
you know, and we will, you know, shenanigans ensue with negotiations. You might go to another planet. There are other planets out there that have all sorts of interesting things going on. So, but yeah, you pretty much, you got this going. You guys did okay, despite having, you know, you between Shakana and good military tactics, you possibly got a plus under your thumb. And there's other exciting except you have to figure out who's arming the rebels and why, and what their plans, and if they actually knew you were coming, or what their scum is. But yes, thank you all for coming. Thanks everyone who's watching. We have a few of you at least. Yeah, we have a few of you at least. So, everyone, does any of you want to plug? We have, you know, I can put another. I'm gonna put out another shout out in the chat for, Sig, of all of the cool art. Oh, right.
Thank you.
There we go. Yes, you should go to Alfheim and contact through that to commission like cool art pieces. Yes, I think we have one of Johan. I think Finnick too at some point, depending on how canon that one is. But yes, I could show those off if I did. But yeah, does anyone else? You should commission Jeff to make cool art for you. Anyone else want to pitch socials, things, places they can find you on the interwebs that you want to show off, and anything?
I'm pretty sure Reaper has an OnlyFans channel for Harmon
Oh yeah.
called
No,
it's
but don't
called
you have
40k.flyer.
don't you have migraine? Yeah, that makes sense. Okay. Yes, but hopefully yeah, didn't you have a business selling print stuff that you want? If you want to pitch that, you know.
Next month I'll pitch that.
Okay, cool. But yeah, thank you. Thank you all for coming, and we are gonna go and we're gonna raid Jiggy What's It. We are gonna raid. Let's see, if Phoenix or Lord Gazimba are on. Yeah, we're gonna raid Lord Gazimba. Is Phoenix still on? No, Phoenix. I think Phoenix went off. So we're gonna raid Lord Gazimba, who are, you know, we have friend of the channel, Rob's on that channel. We got Cocoa Bunny's there. Yeah, we have a lot of fun people. They're doing like old school D&D. We're gonna raid them. Go say hi. All right, take care of yourselves, everyone, and I will see you on Tuesday, if not before, for another stream. And
Sounds good.
goodbye. And
Thank you for running the game, Lee. Appreciate
Yes.
Or y'all take it easy.
it. Have a
Night.
good day, guys.
Yep. And we are officially